What's going on, y'all? We are back with another episode of Singing the Tea. I'm your host, Dustin, singer, actor, Lewis. You already know, sometimes I sing, sometimes I give you all of the reality TV tea, but it's always going to be what you want, and it's always going to be what you need. And baby, we bring you something new, something special. We're bringing you Bellecollective. Now, Bellecollective is something that is near and dear to my heart because I'm from Mississippi, born and raised in Gulfport, Mississippi. I don't know if I ever told y'all that, but I'm born and raised in Gulfport, Mississippi, moved from there a couple of years ago. And, when I saw they dropped a new season, I was like, you know what? Let's get into it. Let's review Bellecollective. Carlosking always does his thing, so we're going to dive into this show as well. Why not? So, before we dive into the episode, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share with the family members, share with a friend, share with the person next to you in the cubicle so we can get into the things. Oh, that's my nose ring. I was like, what is that showing? So we can get into the things. For real, share with the family member, share with the friend, all of that good stuff. Now let's talk about Bellecollective, Season 6, Episode 1. Now this episode is titled, Harpo, who this woman? And child, the new girl, we super excited for her, baby, because she is the diamond of the season, if you ask me. And we're going to definitely talk about it. But the episode opens up with Big Money Marie pulling up to Goddess Link's hair salon, studio, shop, all of the good stuff. And she's meeting up with Latrice, because her and Latrice are cool right now. We love to see it. I don't know about y'all. I'm so happy that these two are finally on good footing because, baby, from season 1 to season 5, they have been at each other. And last season, they ended on a good foot, and it's good to see them still at that good space. Like, I'm really, really excited to see that. Now, we seen them catch up, and congratulations is in order for Big Money Marie. She called her Miss BBL Marie, BBL Monroe. That was good to me because Marie got the body, baby. Whether it was made by God or made by the doctor, she got it. And speaking of doctorates, Marie has her doctorate, baby. She got her doctorate, which kudos to her. Shout out to Marie. She's a boss. You got to give it to her. And she funny as all get out. I love me some Marie. She messy. She keep her old pixie cut. She keep her old BBL and Balenciaga shoe. I live for it. So she is good to me. But not only does she have a doctorate, child, she got 2 men. Marie said, it's enough BBL to go for everybody, baby. Everybody can get a piece of BBL. She has her 2 men. And you know what? I know that's right, Marie, baby. Once you get it, baby, get you some more, baby. She said, you know what? I'm going to rekindle things with my ex, Cedric. And I got me a new man, baby. She got her a good man. She got her a good new man from across the pond, from across the water. I love it. I love it. Marie, you doing your big one. I love to see it. It's good to see Marie in her dating bag, right? Like, allegedly, people thought she was with Essie, but she said, we're going to put that to rest. I ain't with Essie. I'm with both of these men. She said, I ain't dated 2 men before in my life, so we're going to see what that's like. And I'm here for it. So, the ladies are catching up. And, Latrice, she's a boss in her own right as well. She owns her hair studio, her hair salon. She sells Goddess Link hair extensions. She has the Taste Lounge with condos on top. The girl is a true certified boss. Like, I love it. I love seeing her do her thing, especially because she's so young. Like, the girl is a boss. Now, her husband, he'll work our nerves, y'all. He gonna work our nerves. We're gonna talk about him a little bit later. He works our nerves, but overall, super, super excited to see her doing her stuff as well. Latrice is cool. So, Latrice opens up about her friendship with Letitia. Now, her and Letitia's friendship, and Marie calls her Leticia, and I think her name is Letitia. I don't know. It's so funny, and I've been watching since season 1. I don't know why. I think now because I'm talking about it, it's confusing me. I don't know how to say the lady name, but I love when she say Leticia, honey. How is Leticia? And Latrice lets her know, I see Glenn, I don't see her as much, I'm busy with my restaurant, I'm busy doing these different things, but she says she sees Glenn a lot. Their relationship was a little rocky, Letitia and Latrice, but I think they're on a cool space. I don't think they're as cool as they used to be, but it's good to see them cool. So we're going to see what that's really like. And, as they're having this conversation, Marie invites she invites Latrice to her 45th birthday party. Latrice lets her know she can't make it because she has an event going on at her restaurant. She has to be there. But like I said, it's good to see these two ladies on a good foot. We love to see it. Now, right after that scene, we see Letitia, baby, she got on her silk robe, baby. She got her wig laid down to the side. She's sprinkling rose petals on the massage bed on the floor. I don't know who gonna clean that up later, baby. But she's sprinkling it down. We see Glenn pulling up. Baby, they gave Glenn a good sexy scene. It was sexy to somebody. Maybe Letitia. It wasn't to me. But, good for you, Glenn. Glenn just look like my cousin. He don't do it for me. He's just like a family member to me. But he seems like a cool dude. He really does seem real cool. But another thing, it's good to see their relationship is in a good space because they've been rocky. They've been rocky. He was entertaining a lot of the ladies in the DMs. Child, allegedly, he ain't stopped from when we get to the end of this episode. But, he's been entertaining or was entertaining the ladies in his DM. They were going through their rough patch. And, he quit his job because he bought him a truck and he wanted to do that instead of working out there on the oil rigs and all of that. So, they were really in a tough space. Their communication wasn't on point. Infidelity was allegedly there. It was just a lot of mess. So, them being here is a huge, huge, huge 180. And it's good to see. Now, she says, she's kind of in her soft girl area. She feels like she doesn't have to be like the leader of things. And she's glad that he's stepping up. And it's good to see that he went back to the oil rig. Good. Because I don't know what he was thinking about quitting that job. Dude, that's a good job to have. Keep that job. I understand you want to do trucks, but you should have went through your wife first. But we ain't talking about that. They good right now. But it's good to see that they were able to do that. And one of the things, too, the reason she wasn't as soft as she would have been normally in her relationships is because of him just doing a lot of stuff that he was doing. She had to pick up the pieces. She had to be like the breadwinner. She had to do, well, I don't know if she was breadwinner, but she had to be in that space because he wasn't doing what he was supposed to do. So it's good to see they doing good, baby. It is good to see that they doing good. Now, we gonna talk about this next scene. Because we see Marie pull up to her ex-husband Cedric's house. Now, it was a house. It was a house. Okay? I'm not going to give his home too much. I'm going to give the cleanliness of that whole house a whole lot. And I don't normally cuss on this station, but I got to say a little cuss word. So if you don't like me cussing on here, please excuse my French. But he need his ass whooped for how nasty the house was. That didn't make no sense for the house to be that nasty. And I was just like, dude, did you not know that they were going to film here? Did you not know that? And then he just came in there just tiptoeing in his heels. Girl, move away from me for this. He made me hot. I was hot behind that. When I tell you disrespectful, we in Mississippi, we don't do that, baby. We is cleanliness. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And we trying to get into the pearly gates of heaven down there in the Bible Belt. And he know he wrong for that. He needs to do better. The lady up in there cleaning up, the girl said, and the milk down there spoiled. And you old enough to throw it away. Now, I ain't going to get onto the children. But he old enough and you old enough too to know when to throw some spoiled milk away. Now, this just ain't make no sense. How the house just nasty. It was so nasty, the rats and roaches ain't even want to be up in there. Now, I was hot behind that. And Marie said, is it normally like this? Marie, girl, don't you get back with that man. You see how he got that house? He gonna have your life like that. You just got your doctorate. Doctors don't do stuff like that. Marie, you stay with that other man. You don't get back with Cedric. He coming up with that high booty just tipping. Now, Cedric is a good-looking man. He is a good-looking man. But Marie, he ain't the good-looking man for you. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Now, I ain't want to gossip, but I'm going to leave it at that. We're going to move on to we're going to keep it going. Now, I hate to hear that, he lost his brother. I really do hate to hear that. But it's a beautiful thing that they're able to work. It's a beautiful thing that they're able to work through, that she was able to show up for him and they're able to work through some of their issues. He was saying they just weren't in a good space and, she's in a different space, he's in a different space and she's able. I ain't like all that. I'm going to be real. I'm not the biggest fan of them getting back together. I think them co-parenting, great. But them getting back together, I ain't really too here for it. I gotta be honest, I'm not here for them getting back together. Cedric seems like a cool man. Y'all already know I love me some big bank, big money Marie. But I ain't here for her and Cedric. I'm just not. I'm not here for it. One thing I do have to give Marie, big shout out to her. Marie's inviting Cedric to her birthday party. He was like, oh, I'll let you know if I'm able to make it. And Marie was like, All right, you ain't able to make. Well, she didn't tell him this, but in her confessional, she said he's not able to make it. I'm invite my other friend. The thing I appreciated about Marie was Marie said, you know what? Hey, I have my friend, I have my other person. I just want to let you know that I am seeing somebody else. That's maturity there for her to be able to tell that man, look, I'm able to see somebody else. You got your other situation that you had going on. I have another situation. Me and this person going to dinners. We going to dates. We kicking it. We hanging out. We getting to know each other. That's maturity, Marie. So shout out to you. I am really enjoying, I'm saying I'm really enjoying Marie this season. Y'all, it ain't number one episode. But I'm enjoying what Marie is giving us so far. Like, it just seems like she is in a good place. She seems like... Marie had a lot of like heavy stuff going on in the previous seasons. She had a lot, and to be able to just see her in this seems like a fun, joyous place. I enjoy it. So I'm really enjoying what Marie is bringing us this season. But shout out to you, girl, for inviting both of your men. I know that's right, Marie. Now, after we leave Marie and Cedric nasty house, Marie house ain't nasty, Cedric's was, but we go to Selena house. We go to her little house, and Selena, what was you in there doing? It looked like she just was cutting it. She was just cutting yarn. It looked like it was just straps of clothing. Girl, what was you around there making? Because I ain't see you cut nothing come together. I don't know about y'all. I was so confused. What was she making? Just chopping up yarn and just putting it together. Was she making some children's clothes? Was she making some Barbie dolls? Was she making wigs? I don't know what she was making, but listen, girl, you was worrying me. You was stressing me out because I just see you clipping every 5 minutes, clipping strips of jeans, strip of leopard print, strip of yarn. What was you making? You gonna have to. I need to go to your Instagram and see what that was to see what you around there selling, girl. Because I don't know what them were dog toys or what you had going on. But girl, you had strips of everything everywhere. Goodness gracious. Now she had a lot of loss going on. This past season and during the off season, she has had a lot of loss. She previously her son was murdered, unfortunately, and then she lost his dog. Recently, she lost another dog. The girl's grandmother passed away. It was just a lot of stuff that they had. I think she said the girl's grandmother passed away. Lord, I hope I ain't putting nothing on nobody. Charges to my head, not my heart. But, she just had a lot of loss. So we see her significant other, Mike, pull up in the house. And, she says that he spends a lot of time there. I don't know why they felt the need to tell us this. It was weird when... She was like, well, how often do we go to your house? And he didn't really answer. And she was like, maybe once or twice a year. And I'm like, does he not live in the area? And I could just be misremembering because Mike has been on previous seasons, but I don't remember a lot of details about him. I'm not going to even hold you. But that was just such a weird thing to bring up to me. Like, it really just came off like he really didn't have another house, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. It just was really a weird thing for them to highlight, in my opinion. But when she broke down, because, she was supposed to work at Taste. She was supposed to be the bar manager at Taste, which is Latrice's restaurant, her and Cliff's restaurant. And she was talking about how she got into that bad car accident. She said a friend of hers did a U-turn and, just hit her head on. That's wild to me. That's crazy. I hope the other person is okay. She said she had a seizure. Goodness gracious, Selena, it's good to see you doing better. You look amazing. Selena's always been beautiful. Even when she was on the DD4L, she was gorgeous. Selena's stunning, beautiful woman. But it does look like there's a little trouble in paradise between them two. No major issues, but I think that their communication, if they don't fix it, it can turn into a big thing. And I think that she's trying to do that. And I hope he truly hears her, because him going to buy a truck, and I was confused as to what type of truck, but it was like a truck, a kind of like four-wheeler type of truck. 4-wheeler. 4-wheeler is not a truck. Anyway, he went and got an 18-wheeler, and, she also said that he bought a boat, and he did these things without communicating it with her. And, baby, she wants his big, lavish wedding, so he needs to start communicating with the lady before he out here spending all this extra money for no reason. So I'm with her on that. You got to communicate. That is one of the foundations when it comes to a relationship. You got to be able to communicate with me effectively. Communicate effectively. Be forthright, be upcoming, tell me what's going on. Because he ain't really doing that. He ain't doing it right now. So we're pulling up to my next. I think she is my favorite of the cast. It is going to be Miss Latrice. I love Latrice. I think she's young. I think she's fly. I think she's gorgeous. I think she's a good time. But we see her pulling up to her restaurant with her husband, Cliff. Now, Cliff is a hoot. Cliff is just that older Mississippi man. Like, if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. He definitely gives, like, just older man from Mississippi. They don't really seem like they will be together, but they are, so there's that. But she pulls up to her restaurant with her husband, and, you know, they got a new chef that they trying to try out, and that food looked good. I'm going to have to see next time I'm back home if my crew want to ride up there so we can go to Taste. We got to give Taste a little try, y'all. We got to review Miss Taste. We got to see Miss Latrice's hitting on up there. But, you know, they're having some issues, which, let's be real, when don't they have issues? Them two there. Like, I just don't understand why she putting up with all that stuff. Baby, that man is too old to be stressing you out like that. Girl, if you're going to be stressed out, be stressed out by somebody young, fine. You know what I'm saying? He too, and I ain't going to tell you, I almost told y'all some of my business. I ain't going to tell y'all my business, but let me tell you something. He wouldn't be stressing me out. I would just say that. And I'm going to just leave it there. But apparently the man don't know how to find his way back to the house. According to her, he be up there in the condos knocked out instead of coming to the house. And he need to work on that. And while they talking about that, her good friend Amanda comes walking in there looking real cute. She's a cute girl. They've been friends since high school. Beautiful woman. And, you know, she even chimes in and she's just like, look, me and my partner, me and my wife, we separated because she wasn't coming home. So if y'all want to make it work, figure that stuff out. Y'all got to really work that thing out. Now, Cliff was like, well, what you looking for? What you want to date next? A man, woman, cat, dog? Cliff is really funny. Cliff is actually a really, really funny guy. But I'm interested to see what type of energy Miss Amanda is going to bring us this season. We're going to talk about it a little bit more on the end of this review. We definitely going to get into that. Now, it's time for Miss Marie, Big Money Marie birthday party, child. And who was the first one in the door? Cedric. Cedric said, you know what? I gotta show up. I gotta let Marie know, you know, I'm really serious about this thing. I gotta pull up. He had on his suit. He had that one button screaming for help in that good blazer, that good blouse he had on. He looked nice. But it's nice to see that he was there to support Marie. He should have texted her and told her he was gonna be there, but that ain't got nothing to do with me. So we see Selena and Mike pulling in next, you know, and apparently in the car, he advised her that he was going to go out of town, but he didn't tell her prior. And that's the thing, Mike, man. You got to communicate with your woman. You got to communicate. And, you know, Selena's a little frustrated because she's like, look, let me talk to Letitia because she was going through stuff like this with Glenn. Let me get some advice. And, you know, Letitia lets her know, girl, you give me some PTSD. You know, maybe all four of us can just sit down and chat and, like, try to figure out what's going on. And then, you know, we can possibly give y'all some help because it seems like y'all got a lot going on. And then the first time we've seen her, I keep saying that like it's been 1,000 seasons, but Tambra comes in and Tambra's looking good. You know, she had a baby last season, so it's really, really nice to see Tambra because, you know, last season she was like in and out. She wasn't really there the whole time, so it's really, really nice to see Tambra show up to the party and to really get into the things and get into the mix with the girls. You know, they asked her about her baby. She said her mom has her. I wonder if her and, what's his name, Devon? I wonder if that, what's that the man's name? I don't know. I hope her and her man are still together. They seem like a really, really cool couple. So, good to see you, Tambra. Welcome back, girl. Welcome back. And, baby, the time is now for the newbie. And you know what? I'm going to go up for this newbie. I'm going to go up for her because she live in Gulfport, baby. That's where I'm from, born and raised. She's from the coast. We got to give it to Miss Kerri. Listen, Kerri came through, and she going to get the MVP of this episode because for this to be her first season, first episode, Kerri came in and she worked. Kerri came in and worked. Her story is great. Kerri owns 3 restaurants down here on the coast, which I have some friends who've gone to them. They say that they're pretty good. I've never been. And I've seen Kerri around. I don't know her, but I've seen her like around. She seems cool. I don't have any pluses or minuses to say about her. She seems like a cool lady. Yeah, she seems really, really cool. I've seen her husband around too. Both of them seem really, really cool. Cool, good couple. Beautiful family. Seems really like good people from what I can say. So really, really excited to see them. And shout out to Gulfport, y'all. Shout out to Gulfport family. Miss y'all, love y'all. Miss home. So, listen. Kerri came in and got it started. And I was here for every ounce of it. Kerri threw a little shade. She was like, the venue, it was all right. It was a cute little yang. She was like, look, it didn't give me too much. I thought y'all was I'm in Jackson. I thought y'all was going to show up and show out. She was like, I'm waiting on, like, where the people at? Ain't nobody here. The decor, mediocre. It's basic. It's fine. She was expecting a little bit more, and as was I as well, because that's who? Big Money Marie. So it wasn't too much. So they didn't give us too much at the venue. But baby, we see Marie walk in, baby. She had on her bedazzled sequin gown, baby, her little short gown, baby. BBL just shaking and wiggling all through the nosebleeds, baby. She had it going on. And her and Cedric go and speak. And then we see this man walk in here. It was a white man. I said, oh, hey, Mr. White Man, how you doing? They said, what was the name? Martin. Hey, Mr. Martin. It popped up. And they were messy because they slowly brought that up. Marie's man. Ooh. Oh, that's Marie's boyfriend? Okay, Marie. I wasn't expecting that. I don't know what I was expecting. It just wasn't that. I just see Marie dating somebody like Birdman. I just see Marie dating somebody like Birdman. I just see Marie dating somebody like Lil Wayne. I just see Marie dating somebody like, Pastor Troy. I see Marie dating somebody like Young Jock. I see Marie dating somebody like Cedric the Entertainer. You know what I'm saying? Not Steve Harvey. No, that's a little... but somebody... Well, Cedric the Entertainer... Sorry, sir. I see her dating somebody like that, but the man was nice. I was real confused. I was shocked. Listen, Cedric was looking confused. I was looking confused. We all was confused. Baby, Letitia was over there. She didn't know what to do. Kerri was confused too. She said, baby, I was outside next to the man. I didn't know who this was. She said, baby, I thought he was one of the staff. She said, I thought he was the help. Baby, Kerri, you had it going on. So when he got to talking, he was like, oh, I'm from Berlin. I said, oh, girl, I get it, Marie. Girl, I get it. When he got to talking, I said, okay, all right. I understand. Them accents will get you every time, Marie. They'll get you every time, girl. I've been fooled by the rocks that they got as well. And you know what? Get it, girl. You better get it. You better get all the good furs, shoes, purses, everything, Marie. I'm here for every ounce of it. I love it. He wasn't a bad looking man. I just wasn't expecting that. He just don't look like he know his way around the BBL. I don't know nothing about him. He just don't look like... I don't know if they doing BBLs in Berlin. I think Berlin over there, they known for they do the hair plugs and stuff, right? I don't know. Excuse me, pardon me, allegedly, I don't know. I'm just saying, I don't know nothing about these people. But he seems like a lovely man. Now, Kerri and Latrice, y'all come on down here, baby, because, see, I can party with y'all. Next time y'all filming, listen, people down here, y'all need to hire more people down from the coast. I'll move back to Mississippi if y'all want to add me to the Belle. I'll hold me a Belle. I'll hold a Belle, baby. Y'all add me to the cast. I'll really get it going on. So y'all need to add some of the gays onto the cast. Baby, I got a fleet. Baby, y'all let me know what y'all want to do. Carlos, hit the line. You don't know me, but call me, baby. Listen, I have it going on around there. Because they asked the right question, but they ain't asked the right question. Baby, but Kerri had it going on. She said, hey, how you doing, Mr. Martin? I saw you out there, but, where are you from? Is that a Swedish accent? She knew that wasn't no doggone Swedish accent. Kerri was funny. But when he had said, I was here with my kids. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to imitate this man's accent. I don't even sound right. He was down here with his kids, and he said his wife. And he said, I mean my ex-wife, or soon-to-be ex-wife, something like that. Kerri said, my who? My what? She said, you said wife like y'all had just separated. What's going on? How long y'all ain't been together? And I said, you know what? Give Kerri her things. Give Miss Kerri her things, because she going to be here for a long time, baby. She going to be here for a good time and a long time. And I loved it. Never mind, I ain't finna shade that lady because I like her. And I might see her back when I go home. I don't want that lady trying to beat me up. I'm cool with Miss Kerri. Miss Kerri's all right with me. But, yeah, we want to know what the tea is with that because, sir, you were saying that your ex-wife was here. Like, did y'all just recently separate? What's the tea with that? And it's like Marie really didn't want to talk about it too much, but Kerri was like, no, let's talk about the things. And I'm with Kerri on that. It seems like you like the mess. Because I wouldn't have even brought him around if I knew that. And maybe it's not, in all honesty, y'all, it's probably not as deep as we think it is. But I think that she should just went ahead, owned it, shut it down to where there's nothing to talk about. Because I know Marie was like, well, I don't even know Kerri like that. I'm not trying to give her too much, which I can understand. But you could have gave her a little bit more and shut the whole situation down instead of, girl, you just made it seem like it was more to the story than what was really there, in my opinion. And also, too, something I thought was really weird, when all three of them was dancing, when it was Marie, Cedric, and Martin, like Marie was holding both their hands, dancing down the thing. Are all three of y'all in a relationship? It just is a little odd to me. I don't know. If they were in a relationship, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, if all three of them were in a relationship, or if two of the people were in a relationship allegedly, and one person is just being nice, I wouldn't be surprised either. And I'm going to move on to the next topic. So, after that, and all this stuff is alleged, okay? After that, we see Amanda, we pull up to Amanda's salon, and Latrice, she sits in the chair, she late, and we see Tambra pulling up as well. And, Tambra is catching them up on how the party went. She's talking about Martin and Cedric being there. And then, they start talking about Glenn and Leticia. Now, this part is getting a little messy and it's a little wild to me. Apparently, allegedly, Glenn be sliding into Amanda's DMs. It's messy. Amanda, you said that, she didn't want to go to Latrice about it because she knows she's friends with them. I'm going to say this. And Latrice, I like you. You were laughing a little bit too much. And I understand Amanda's your girl. But you were laughing too much for Leticia to be your girl as well. Like, I understand it ain't your relationship, but I would have been like, hey, girl, don't do that to them on camera. And then, I know you want to stay out of it, but now, since it was brought up on camera, it's your duty to go and talk to Leticia, in my opinion. I think you need to go talk to Leticia and be like, hey, look, this is what my girl said. I don't want you to be blindsided by it. This is what is allegedly happening. I can facilitate a sit down if you want to sit down with all of us and we can all talk about it. But I think if you are trying to still foster a friendship with Leticia, you need to have that conversation, Latrice. You really, really do. It's got to come for you. Because if it doesn't, it's going to come out messy. And Latrice, sometimes, like with you, when you are backed into a corner, you're going to lash out a little bit. And I feel like you're not going to give the situation what it really needs. So I think it'll be best if you just go and talk to her, in my opinion. I'm just going to say, this season is going to be good. If this episode is a preview of what we're about to get this season, then I think that it's going to be a fabulous, wonderful, wonderful season. It's going to be wild, but it's going to be good. And I'm super excited for us to be reviewing this show. I'm super excited to see Kerri on there doing her big one. The ladies really brought it the first episode, and it was a great episode. It's going to be a great season. Y'all, that's all we have with this. I think Real Housewives of Potomac is coming out this week as well, so y'all will be getting that. We're going to jump back into Real Housewives of Potomac. And I'm going to try to see if we can do the Braxtons as well, because I think that they're coming out either this week or next week, something like that. But we're going to get into that as well. But with that being said, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share with a family member, share with a friend, and don't forget to come back to get all of the new episodes. Have a good one, everybody.